Welcome to class. Chat. Today's a very important day. And I have a very big responsibility today, and that is to teach you guys about the birds and the bees. Except today we're literally talking about birds, and we're literally talking about bees, and about how they have sex. Thank you, Grace, for the 7 months. I don't doesn't really matter. Actually, Space, how annoying is it to get my activity feed up in OBS? Or is this my activity feed? It's just not updating. Not mine. The monitors are backwards. Why? Chat, my mouse is gone. Hello. Everybody, nobody worry about this right now. We're stalling until more people get here. So you guys are just here for the behind the scenes. Nanny, thank you for the 9 months. Everybody say hi to Ella. Should I... Not the scene collection thing. What do I do? I'm logging in. I don't want them to see. Can they see it? Chat, don't look. It's not for you. Hold on. No look. Good job. Proud of you. Oh my god, Daily Dose like my tweet. Code's not for you either. I'm not supposed to share it. Authorize. Okay, it's working. Hold on. Crazy. Okay, we're in. We're in here. Hello, everybody. All right. Alrighty. I woke up just for this. Thank you so much. That's very nice. That's very nice of you. Caleb, thank you for the 16 months. Speaking of Caleb, we have a live studio audience today, and it consists of Space and Caleb. So they're going to be here just you know, taking it all in for some reason. We'll see how it goes. Her tweet made me feel guilty, so I'm here. That's what I'm talking about. Thicky Rat, yeah. Thank you for the 7 months. Direwolf, thank you. Blah Blah the second, thank you for the subs. Guys, when I tell you this is the most research I've done for a presentation, I would be lying. Because actually, I think the most research I've ever done is probably for the Chicken Animal Quest. But I, without exaggeration, have probably put... What do you think? Maybe like 20 hours of research? Huh? You think so, Space? At least 20 hours of research into this presentation. Don't talk to me about Winnie Animal Quest. Thank you for the 5. D Beachy, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I can't hear myself, and that's because I didn't turn this on, because I'm oh, it is on. Hello. Hello, hello. Whoa. That's weird. Hello, 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 hello. Yeah, weird. I need to... I can't hear myself on this one, Space. Which also means I can't hear, like, alerts, which is going to be a problem for the videos. Do you want this whole thing? Hold on, guys. You guys can hear me, though, obviously. Yes, you can hear me. Okay. Do not mind me. My phone has to be on noise today, and I have to go check it. Okay? So don't worry about that. Winnie Animal Quest is going to take more researching. How many times did researching accidentally take you down the wrong searches? Oh, we'll talk about that, too. I've accidentally looked up lots of porn. Not Cutie Vitamins. Cutie Vitamins at 4 o'clock. We have time today. We have time today until the Super Bowl goes on. Because then I have too much competition and I'm going to dip out. Accidentally. Right. Right. So we're gonna get my like monitoring thing fixed and then we'll start. I have some notes. Also, have you noticed a couple things in the studio? Number one, there's a whiteboard. So I can give you demonstrations, or so I can show you. I'll make it bigger than that when I draw things. I realize you can't really see that. So you're live until 6? No, I'm just live a couple hours. And then we also have new pictures. Look at this. Huh? Turka put new pictures out here. We have BB up there, Spanish Orange Isopod. We got Reed, and we have Miley. Hooray! They're 2 straight though. No, I actually feel bad. Turka just did this yesterday, and she like leveled them all out. So I'm gonna leave them. I'm gonna leave them today. We'll see about another day. Are you guys ready for Tuesday? By the way, I still have plushies to make. I don't know if I'm gonna get to them all. I've made 22, I think. And the goal is 30, but I only have today and tomorrow. Tuesday, 10 a.m. I'm gonna tweet today. I'm gonna make a YouTube video introducing all the plushies probably and tweet that as well. Is it working? No. It's not working. Problem. And it's Stompy's 2nd birthday on Tuesday. Draw a normal penis for reference to all the weird ones we were about to see. So the reason I have a number one, I stand by this. I don't think I've ever drawn a penis in my life. I've never, like in class on a piece of paper, drawn a dick. Just not within my sense of humor. I don't think it's funny. I don't know why, because I think this whole presentation is fucking hilarious. I'm really proud of it. But I don't think I've ever drawn one. Everyone's saying no shot because you're all men. So every single one of you has drawn a penis on your friend's piece of paper. I understand that. It's just not something that I did as a girl in school. I just never did it. Missed opportunity? Okay, well, I don't think I've ever drawn a penis. I am going to be drawing some animal penises today because I think showing you pictures is a little too much. The only picture that I okay, that's so not true. There are pictures in here. But I do have a picture of a clitoris. I don't think I have any pictures that are like, that's a lie. I do. Anyway, the ones that I feel like are too much, I'm going to draw. And I'm going to draw you demonstrations for how things work. Okay? So you'll see. I can't click on a clip. I'm not going to click on it. Is it still not working? Yay! Thank you. Saved. We started a little late today, so we weren't able to do a sound check because my truck ran out of gas. Because I didn't fill it up. So we had to get gas on the way here, and we also had to get Dunkin' Donuts on the way here. It didn't actually run out of gas. I didn't like roll off it just like we had to get gas this morning because it was on empty. That's all. So I'm sorry. Okay. All right. Are you guys actually ready? Are you ready? I'm really excited. I think it's gonna be a good time. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Okay. I think we're set. Okay. Class has started. The bell has rung. Here we go. Okay. Sex and love in the animal kingdom. I can't put sex in my title, but it's close enough. Man, that is like driving me insane. Hold on. Oh, hello. Sorry, there's just like a ton of static. It's making me lose my mind. Okay, I did put the word Riz in there because I thought that it was encompassing. Shrez, thank you for the 20 months. I felt that it, wait. I don't think that was mine. Was that an Alvea sub? Who cares? Shrez, thank you for the 20 months. It's Shrez's birthday! Birthday! Happy birthday. Reload overlays. Let's try that. Is it that? Refresh. Alrighty. Where's my... God, one day this will be easy, guys. Not today. Alright. Okay, let's start. Let's take it from the top. Let's start with the easy stuff. Let's start with the love stuff, the sweet stuff, the sappy stuff. And then we'll get into the crazy stuff. Then we'll get into reproduction. Yes, it's a very cute picture. I think they're burrowing owls. They're very cute. But we'll start with monogamy. So, monogamy is super uncommon in the animal world. Only about 3 to 5 species are socially monogamous. There is a difference between social monogamy and genetic monogamy. Social monogamy is when they live together to mate. They share childcare responsibilities, share resources, they care for young together, but they don't necessarily mate exclusively. So if one of those birds leaves the nest, or if the mammal leaves, they will copulate. with other animals. By the way, I assume you guys all know what copulate means. I'm going to say it a lot today. It means do the do, okay? Genetic monogamy, couples exclusively copulate and reproduce with each other. Genetic monogamy is super rare. This 3 to 5% socially monogamous. Everything else, not monogamous. We'll talk about that more later. But 90% of birds are socially monogamous. These are some examples of animals that are, apparently tiger sharks are genetically monogamous, which has been really bad for their populations. Seahorses, socially monogamous. Wolves, socially monogamous. Voles, genetically monogamous for some reason. They've done a lot of studies on these guys, and for some reason, they are just all about commitment, you know? They're really in it. That's monogamy. More common than monogamy, polygamy. Polygyny, one male, several females, pretty common. Polyandry, one female, several males, less common. Polygynandry, multiple males, multiple females. Reed, for example, foxes are polygynandrous. I don't think I did enough research. And promiscuity, indiscriminate sexual behavior. Example, rabbits, extremely promiscuous. Lots of animals extremely promiscuous, but also just super common in the animal kingdom. Homosexuality. Okay, this is a whole thing, and I did a lot of reading. I read a book that talked about it. I've read lots of articles and papers about it, and I've decided for the most part, I'm not really going to talk about it except by saying Gage is okay. These are a lot of pictures that have species that engage in homosexual behavior, and it's super, super common and super popular in the animal kingdom, believe it or not. It's all over the place. There are a lot of theories, but it's kind of dangerous to go into those theories because it means a lot more to the human species than it does in the animal kingdom. In the animal kingdom, it's just whatever, you know. There's no social conversations about it. It's just, they just do it, you know. There are also a lot of, I will make this small note. There are a lot of species that, one of the arguments where people are like, well, their purpose is to reproduce, is just not necessarily true. You can't really say that as a generalized statement because there are lots of species where there are animals that do not reproduce. They're animals whose sole purpose is to work. So you look at bees, drones, you look at like drone bees, you look at ants and things like that, and most of them will die virgins. Most of them will not reproduce. Their purpose is to work for their colony or work for their population, and it furthers their population because just like us, yeah, sorry guys, it helps to further their population, so they have a purpose in that sense. So there's lots of different reasons for homosexuality, but it is all over the place. We also have our very own on here, Tico and Miley. They're both female, but they are pair bonded. Why? Because they're in love. Gage is okay, you know? And then we have our self-love section. Hermaphrodites. You guys have probably heard of hermaphrodites as an organism that has both male and female reproductive organs. We have some really freaking interesting examples of hermaphrodites in this presentation. So we'll go deeper into hermaphroditism throughout this presentation. Then we also have self-fertilization, also scientifically called selfing, which is kind of crazy. Fusion of male and female gametes produced by the same individual. So we have clownfish, hermaphrodites, snails, hermaphrodites, killfish. This is a mangrove killfish down here. Can self-fertilize or regularly engage in selfing. You can literally put a single killfish in a tank and it will reproduce with itself and make many more. Why? Probably, hermaphrodites probably evolved for the purpose of colonizing a population on their own. Stop saying selfing? No. Don't tell the teacher what to stop saying. Raise your hand if you have something to say. Oh my god, I might need to take these shoes off. There's like, their platform's gonna fall. Probably evolved for the purpose of being able to colonize a population as an individual. It's really handy. Literally can go fuck itself. Yes, true. I would also like to note, yes, I'm in the studio today, but technically this isn't an Alveus stream. This is my stream. So I am probably going to swear. Also, this would be an insane Alveus stream, so Don't worry about that. But yeah, so there's self-love. Okay, let's get into it. Are you ready? How do you deal with breakups if you are with yourself? I don't know how to answer that question, chatter. I think it's probably easier. Okay, I made an entire section for insect sex, or insects as you will. Okay, that's not like a scientific term, it's just funny. I only included a few examples even though there are so many. There are so many, you're not gonna believe it. Okay, okay. I don't even know why they have this sticker, but they had it and I thought it was really funny. Unhinged stream. Okay, so we have a few examples here of insect sex. One of them is specifically dedicated to bed bugs. One, it's absolutely fascinating reproduction. You guys know how I feel about bed bugs, but also it's just a classic and we have to go back over it. But we'll start with chemical warfare. What the heck does this mean? Please admire my graphic design. Thank you. Okay. Love darts and mind-controlling semen. Snails are hermaphrodites, right? Snails are hermaphrodites, but as a hermaphrodite, they want to play the male role because being a man is easy in terms of reproduction and other things. And thank you for the Twitch Prime, 16 shores. Because you get to go around and just, you know, spread sperm and your genetics, right? And then you leave, and then you keep reproducing. The female role is hard because then you have to have eggs and you have to care for young. You have to raise young. So it's a big time commitment and it's much more work. So snails want to play the male role for that reason. Okay? Snails have darts made of calcium. They also have penises. These are separate things. I'm going to draw you guys a snail really quick. Where do you think his sex organs are? Don't say unhinged. It's a smiling snail. Relax. His eyes, his head, his mouth, his forehead, between his legs. Fair guess. Mouth, in his butt. They're about here. They're on his neck. This is where their sex organs are. Okay? That's where his penis is. In addition to that, they have a dart. Okay? They have a dart in addition to the penis on their neck. Let me explain. The dart is made out of calcium, and it shoots sperm-boosting secretions. They literally want to stab each other with the dart. What is the word? Frick. I forgot to write it down. What's the word for a injection? It's like a hypodermic, thank you. Hypodermic genitalia. There are lots of animals with hypodermic genitalia, and this is not traumatic insemination technically because it's traumatic because they stab each other with it, but they don't inseminate with this dart. The dart stabs the other snail and it injects sperm boosting secretions. It reduces the fertility of the victim snail so that they can't go mate with other snails. It shortens the lifespan of the victim snail, which is kind of a bizarre thing. You'd think that they'd want the mother to live longer, but it also means that they're not able to reproduce with other snails. And it may reduce the libido of the victim snail, again, with the intention to reduce the amount of snails that the victim snail goes and reproduces with, right? So I'll show you what that looks like. If you don't want to see what that looks like, don't look, but it's kind of cool. So this picture should have gone first. Do you see the dart? It's very freaking obvious, okay? This is a dart, and those are the two penises above the dart. So what they do is snails wrestle for a while. They stab each other as many times as possible, stabby, stabby, try to get as much of that fluid from the dart into the other snail. And then once they've stabbed each other a bunch of times, then they inseminate each other at the same time. These are hermaphrodites, right? So they both have male parts and female parts. And so they inseminate each other at the same time, penis over penis. And whoever did the best stabbing prior to insemination gets to play the male role. Does this all make sense? Does it? They're saying, wait, I saw one no, but mostly yeses. Yes, but no. Kinda? Does that make sense?
Do I understand what you said?
Yeah. Okay. he said, do I understand? Yes. Does it make sense? No. Okay, great. Well, it makes sense if you take, they're hermaphrodites, they want to play the male role, so they're going to do whatever they can to play that male role. And for snails, that means chemical warfare. It means injecting the other with a secretion that leads them to play the female role. So the better stabber is the man. Also, another example, fruit flies, their seminal fluid contains proteins that promote egg production and reduce libido, so same thing. Their semen just affects the inseminated so that they're less likely to reproduce down the road. Just to knock out competition, you know what I mean? But that snail is kind of crazy. Okay, this is a big one. Sexual cannibalism is extremely popular in the animal kingdom. Like, it is all over the place. I think most people think of praying mantises, right? But it is, I mean, it's everywhere. And our first reaction as humans is why? Sexual cannibalism being female eating the male post-coitus, right? To humans, you'd be like, what the heck, why? And the answer to that is why not? Or the rebuttal is why not, right? It makes a lot of sense for females to consume the male if it's something that is within her diet, because it helps for her to produce eggs better and to raise their young better. And a lot of times the males don't have a very long lifespan. Their only job is to reproduce. And if the males successfully inseminate a female, then the female's, you know, he's done his job and then she needs nutrients. So it sustains the female. A lot of times the feeding itself increases the amount of time for copulation. So in the praying mantis example, which you guys will see in just a second, if the female is eating the male while they're having sex, the male can have sex for longer. Doesn't make sense now. It will make sense in a second. Male praying mantises have extra nerves in their abdomen, and so while they're being eaten, it causes spasms in their abdomen, and so they're able to continue You'll see a video. I'll show you a video, and it'll make more sense when you see it. I don't want to try to explain it to you. Males that are willing to self-sacrifice are more likely to receive mating opportunities. Let's just watch that praying mantis video because I feel like I introduced that, and you're confused.
Praying mantises are
Oh gosh,
because of
very
their
quiet. Hold on.
posture.
Hold on.
But these bugs
Hold on.
are neither meek nor mild. Predators.
Space, we gotta like fix these displays because I don't know where anything is right now. I mean, not right now, but like, chat, can you hear this? I can't hear this, and I also can't find my mouse, and I can't pause it, so.
Climbing up towards his potential mate can have little idea of the danger that he's in.
Where is this screen? It's not.
Perhaps put off.
I see. Thank you, thank you. Yeah, okay. Let's try again, shall we?
Praying mantises are so named because of their pious-looking posture.
Can you hear it?
But these bugs are neither meek nor mild. They're voracious predators.
I turned it up a little bit.
This male mantis, climbing up towards his potential mate, can have little idea of the danger that he's in.
Oh no. That's the female.
Perhaps put off by the unwelcome advances of the male, or simply driven by hunger, the female mantis begins to eat her suitor.
Praying mantises are carnivorous bugs, if that isn't obvious right now. That's right, he probably said, hey there, wanna boink. Exactly, and now she's mad.
Holding his upper body in her left claw, she starts to chew through his thorax.
So you'd think that this just means she's killing the male, so that they can't have sex.
Until the two halves of his body are only held together by a thread of
He is now
flesh.
split in half. Doesn't matter.
Eventually, his head drops away.
Still doesn't matter.
But remarkably, this male isn't entirely dead. He's begun to impregnate her. The female has removed his head, and with it the brain cells that control his inhibitions. But his abdomen has its own nerve cells. Cells that control the act of copulation, and they allow him to pass on his genes even in the throes of death. In reproductive terms, this male has succeeded.
Yay!
But his death is a symbol of how strangely
Easy.
unfeeling
Didn't die a virgin.
the arthropod world can be.
I don't know, actually. That's kind of a... You could be on either side for that, I think. Okay, great. So, where's my... Okay, we got it this time. Easy. Hello? Next. No! Stop! Oh god. Hold on. Okay, so you guys now understand why sexual cannibalism is a thing, at least in praying mantises, right? So it makes a lot of sense for him to die. If he's gonna have one chance at mating, and the amount of time that he has to copulate with this female is going to increase because she's eating him, and that takes a really long time, it makes sense for him to do that, to really put himself out there, you know? In order to reproduce, if that's his purpose. I think he actually kind of killed it, right? Methods that we have of, this is a little confusing, I should have laid this out better. Methods that we have of sexual cannibalism, but there are also methods in here of avoiding sexual cannibalism, because believe it or not, some males don't want to be cannibalized, and they want to have another chance to reproduce. Number one, somersaulting. It is described that way by scientists, okay? That is not me. Male redback spiders will literally somersault into the mouth of the female after copulating. Why? Because it helps sustain her, and it was his only opportunity to mate anyway. So he offers himself to the female after successfully reproducing, okay? Cool. Strangulation. Female octopuses, being mostly octopuses are very solitary. I don't want to hear octopi. All right, I looked this up. Octopuses. All right, female. They're very solitary, and so no, not octopussy. No, they're solitary. So if they come across another creature, they're gonna eat it because they need to. Also, when females are about to go into this long process of taking care of their eggs and raising young, they're going to need a last meal before they go hide away to do that. So female octopuses will strangle the males and eat them. So then opportunities to, or methods to avoid cannibalism, copulatory bondage, would not recommend searching copulatory bondage without anything about insects or anything about spiders, okay? Do not search. And then I was like, oh my God, I accidentally looked up porn, and then I tried to fix it, and so I looked up silk copulatory bondage because it's about spiders, and they do this with silk. Also wrong. They do it with silk too, all right? You have to look up spiders if you want to do that. But copulatory bondage is a thing with spiders. Male spiders will bound the female spiders with silk to keep them from being mobile, so that they can copulate without being eaten. And then the other crazy one is catapulting. So orb weavers, I did a lot of math for this one, you guys. I don't really need to draw this, but I'm going to anyway. I think the video is for bondage. I don't think that it's for catapulting. But essentially, there's like female orb weaver, male orb weaver, and after they copulate, he goes, nah! Okay. And that was not near fast enough. It was not anywhere near fast enough. Also, note, they do this several times. Copulate, catapult, come back, copulate, catapult, and do it basically until she gets him, until she eats him. But it gives them the opportunity to go multiple times, right? But orb weavers can catapult themselves off of a female to avoid becoming a post-coital snack. Orb weavers are about 3 millimeters long, and they launch themselves at 88 centimeters per second, okay? Which is the equivalent of a 5'9" man launching himself in the air at 1,738 feet per second. Can you imagine having sex with somebody? Okay, that part doesn't even matter. Imagine a man trying to launch himself at 1,700 feet per second. For, what is that for space? Can you help the, oh no, I have it. It's the same as a man who's 1.8 meters catapulting himself at 530 meters per second. For all you non-freedom unit out there's, non-freedom uniters. Very fast, right? Very fast. Anyway, we have one more. We have one more video here. Here you go. Nope, that's you don't need to see that again. Here you go. This is the bondage video. Nursery web spider. He's doing it. 30 spider species. I think calling it a bridal veil is pretty generous. This is the female untangling herself and the male having to escape her. But it's a close call. She's really almost got him. The male is the one, in this thumbnail, it's the one on top, in the bottom. So yeah, sexual cannibalism, very popular. I think that was it for that slide. Yeah, that was it. Okay, let's get into something that's really important to me. Bedbug reproduction. It's been a long time since we've talked about this. It's just about the most interesting reproductive story in the animal kingdom ever. Because it makes okay, let's just get into it. Bedbugs only reproduce via traumatic insemination. Bedbugs, female bedbugs, have female genitalia, perfectly good orifice for insemination. I don't know what Connor just texted me. That would be amazing. So he's watching the stream, but I don't even know what he's referring to. Did you just? I don't think this is what. That was really bad time. I think he's on mobile or something. So bedbugs have a needle-like penis. Again, females have a perfectly good orifice that they could inseminate. However, they choose to inseminate directly through their carapace. This is a picture of a bedbug penis right there. It does look like a little needle. Males will inseminate directly through the carapace, through the abdomen of the female. The exoskeleton becomes visibly cracked. when they do that insemination. Why, right? Why would they do that if there's an orifice to inseminate? Because they are able to inseminate directly into the circulatory system or into her bloodstream, and the last sperm is the first one to the egg. So it just put it wherever. Yep. It streamlines the process. Another interesting thing about bedbugs, males regularly engage in homosexual behavior all the time. And at first, scientists thought that it was because they could not tell them apart, because bedbugs typically try to inseminate the largest female, and so if a bedbug has recently eaten, it like looks like a female, I guess. But there is a theory about rollover insemination, which again, I'm not an entomologist, so like don't quote me on any of this, okay? This is just from what I've read. But there's a theory that if, thank you for the sub, if a male bedbug inseminates another male bedbug, that their sperm can be combined, and then that male bedbug will inseminate the next female, and she will get a combination of their sperm. So there's competition there without the original bedbug even needing to inseminate the female. Does that make sense? Stacking. Yeah. That is a theory, not confirmed. But the concept is crazy. Not only do bedbugs regularly engage in homosexual behavior, they also engage in cross-species insemination. The only theory for that is that they can't stop, won't stop. There's no reason to do that. There's no biological reason for bedbugs to go inseminate another insect. I think they're just programmed to whoever does the most stabby, fucky wins. And so they're just always on it, man. They're always copulating. And so, you know, they just, anything and everything. Down horrendous. Yes, exactly. If you think that this is bad, you may be displeased to find out that they can also shoot semen. There is a tropical species of bedbug that can shoot semen more than twice its body length. They're only a couple millimeters long, and they can shoot semen incredibly far. That's exactly, see, you guys all have it. It's been a long time, but you already know. Yes, it is the equivalent of a 6-foot-tall male shooting 8 gallons of semen about 12 feet with enough velocity to penetrate a female. Like I said, bedbugs don't need to inseminate via orifice. They just have to break through the carapace. And so tropical bedbugs will shoot sperm. They will snipe the female. It'll go through her carapace directly into her circulatory system and inseminate her. So if you want to compare that to a man, yeah. 6-foot-tall male, 8 gallons of semen, 12 feet away, with enough velocity to puncture through the carapace of the female and inseminate her that way. You're welcome, Ranger. 8 gallons, why so little? Whoa. Skeet shrapnel. Yeah. Anybody else got anything? There were some good ones in there that I actually didn't read out loud, but they were pretty good. Cum gun is okay. Do they have a 360 no scope? Probably. Who knows? Imagine the exertion. Yep. 8 gallons is one too many. Okay. Phase up. Okay. All right. That's all I got for insects today. What do you think? Is there a recoil? Don't know. Hi, sorry. I was like refilling humidifiers. 6-foot-tall male, 8 gallons. Okay. All right. Bee. We're coming up on talking about bees. All right. That's all I have for insects today. What do you guys think? There's so much more, you guys. I could do another one of these presentations just on insects. Insect sex. But now we're moving on to the the real nitty gritty. Penises in the animal kingdom. Notice there are a lot of subtopics here, and that's because there's a lot of information to cover today, okay? I hope you guys had your coffee this morning, and I hope you had your breakfast, because you're gonna need to keep your eyes open. Fun shapes. We start off easy. Now's when I need to do a little bit of drawing. Okay, so I didn't want to show you a bunch of pictures of, yes, acoustic penises, exploding penises. We're going over all of it today. Weaponized penises, yes, we're going over all of it today. You will not believe. Anyway, penises come in all shapes and sizes. The human penis being very boring compared to the rest of the animal kingdom. There are a lot of animals in the animal kingdom that have a baculum, which is a bone. We do call human penises boners, but there's not a bone in the penis. A lot of animals have an actual bone. It's isolated, and it's located at the distal end of the penis, at the top of the penis. There are a couple pictures of bones here. Guy from Ghana, thank you for the 14 months.
I wonder what types of shapes we'll learn about today on the Mayahiga stream.
Welcome. It's not a bone. No, your penis is not a bone. I have a very important job here. Okay. Couple pictures, a couple examples. What do you guys think that bone is that guy's holding? The one that goes like this? That he's holding like this? What is that? A weapon? What kind of animal does it come from? An elephant? Sperm whale? No, the small one. At the top. A walrus? A whale? A hamster? Oof. Raccoon, correct. Well done. That is the baculum of a raccoon. That is a raccoon penis. For some reason, I don't know why this is the case. I don't know why everyone and their mom wants a raccoon penis, but if you look up raccoon baculum, it's all Etsy. And it's all people making like weapons and earrings out of them because everybody wants one. I don't know why, but you look it up. I swear to God, it was so hard for me to find information and to research raccoon penises without getting hit with like ads. Like, here, buy one here. I was like, I don't want one. Anyway, that's a raccoon penis. What about the big one underneath it? Most people, you know what? I think you guys were already talking about that one. Most of you said whale. It is actually a walrus baculum. Walrus penises are about 2 feet long. That is not a whale. We will talk about whale penises. Trust me, that is not a whale penis. That is too small to be a whale penis. That's a walrus baculum. Other interesting, okay, so we have other baculums right here. These ones are all labeled. Lots of different sizes, different shapes, and the shapes all have a purpose, an evolutionary purpose, right? So we're gonna go through and talk about these 3 examples up here for crazy shapes.
Hey,
Toasty.
great stream so far. If you want more information about sexual cannibalism and copulatory bondage, Therese, this cool book you should check out. It's called 50 Shades of Prey.
Thank you, Toasty. Appreciate the recommendation. All right, we're going to go through and we're going to talk about each of these kinds of penises. We have a honey badger, we have a cat, and we have a duck. I would also like to make a little note here. A duck penis is not a true penis because it doesn't erect with blood. But we're going to talk about it as if it was a true penis. Okay? Some animals have penises that help them in eliminating other competitions from males. Honey badgers are one of them. Here's what their penis looks like from, here's what their baculum, the bone in their penis, looks like from a top view. It has like a hole in it. This is what the bone of a honey badger penis looks like if you look at it from the top. From the side, it kind of looks like this. It's like a spoon. Okay? Why would it be shaped like a spoon? Chat? Like a scoop? Why do you think this would be, honey badger? Penetration, to eat ice cream, to help eat soup, scoop pee-pee, scoop out semen. Okay, yes, well done. Scoop out other cummies. Good job. Everybody, that's right. It is to scoop out competing semen. Yeah. So their spoon is literally, their penis is literally shaped like a spoon. They're able to scrape out competing semen from copulation from before. So yeah, that's a honey badger penis. Fun shape, kind of crazy. Semen shovel, yes, well done. Next, we have a cat penis. I don't know if you guys have ever seen a cat penis, but it looks like this, right? Pretty normal, kind of crazy, kind of looks like a dog penis, except it actually looks like this. Barbed penises. Penile spikes is what they're called. Barbed for her pleasure? No.
Oh my god.
Unfortunately, that is not the case. They're not ribbed for her pleasure. They are barbed to prevent pulling out so that coitus happens for longer. It's the opposite, actually. So it's pretty rough. Evolutionarily, it makes sense because once they're in there, they're going to inseminate her, and then they'll pull out and leave. But it is not comfortable. That is the shape of a cat penis. The last one that we have you guys heard of duck penises? For some reason, the media loves talking about duck penises. I found a lot of research for them. You guys familiar? Well, I'd like to note, the vast majority of birds only have a cloaca, a hole, one hole for everything, right? But ducks have a penis that looks like this. It's a corkscrew. It's a corkscrew, and and it is huge, by the way. It's almost twice the length of a duck. Why? Why? Actually, interestingly enough, it is the same reason that cats have a barbed penis. Because, you guys ever twisted a screw in something? You know how opposite threading works? A duck vagina has the opposite threading of a duck penis. So it literally screws into one another. Why are they so long? Because female ducks have adapted or have evolved to have longer vaginas so that they can avoid forced copulation by other male ducks. And then duck penises in return have become longer. So for however many years this problem has been happening and they've been evolutionarily fighting one another, duck penises have gotten absurdly long and female duck vaginas have become absurdly long. We're in a bit of an arms race. I don't know when it's going to end or what it's going to look like, but you guys will be dead by the time it's something like that you're not able to fathom. But it's still going. It's an arms race. Does this all make sense? Any questions?
Wow. Thank you for your research.
Jim, thank you for the 16 months. Righty-tighty, lefty-loosey.
You think ducks are packing like that?
I missed that. Thank you. Cat penis barbs are backwards. Oh my god, you're right. Wait. Because it would be like, oh, you're right. Okay, guys, bad news. Cat penises are even worse than I originally explained. They're backward facing. So the same reason why it's really hard to pull a snake off of you when they bite, because their teeth are backward facing. When they stick it in, you can't pull it out because the barbs are backwards facing. It's like a Christmas tree. Cool? How do they screw something in without turning? The penis and the vagina are pretty pliable. It's not like a screw, you know? Cool? Hate it? Great. All right, so that's all shapes and sizes. Lots of different shapes and sizes. There's a ton more examples, but that's what I kept it to today. Alex, thank you. Biggest and smallest, okay. You guys thought that baculum was a whale penis. You were incorrect. But the largest penis in the world, unsurprisingly, is a blue whale. It's the largest animal in the world. The smallest penis, I did research, couldn't find it. It's some microbe, I don't know, right? There are microbes that produce sexually, which means that they have male reproductive parts. I don't, it's just so fucking tiny, you don't even need to worry about it. Honorable mentions. Largest penis to body ratio. You can start the first poll if you want. Because we talked about blue whales already. How big is a blue whale's penis? And I have a little bonus that's not a poll. You can select A, B, C, or D. Is it 3 to 5 feet, 8 to 10 feet, 12 to 15 feet, or 15 to 20 feet long? While you answer that, or while you guess for that, the largest penis to body ratio is a barnacle. A barnacle, do we have a tape measure in here? By chance? Thank you very much. Most of you are guessing C. A barnacle's penis is about 8 times its size. 8 times its length. So it has the largest penis to body ratio in the world. A lot of people like to say that they're hung like a horse, but if you want to say that you're hung like a barnacle, your dick is gonna have to be about that long. You would need about a 50-foot penis. I think that poll's over. Let's check it out. Most of you said C, 12 to 15 feet. The correct answer is B. That is generous, though. A blue whale's penis is 8 to 10 feet long, which is still pretty massive. But crazier, how much do you guys think a single blue whale testicle weighs? It's not a poll. It's just an extra. It's a little extra fun fact. In pounds, please. I'm American. 30, 40, 100, 200 kilograms, 200 pounds, 1 me. I don't know how much you weigh. 14 pounds, 80 pounds, about 150 pounds. It's a blue whale testicle.
Speaking of reproductive cannibalisms, did you hear MGK and Meg?
Did they really? I didn't hear that. About 150 pounds. Massive. Massive test. I mean, they produce gallons and gallons of sperm at a time, so kind of makes sense. This is a barnacle penis. This picture. Barnacles are really small and they're stationary. They never move. So it makes sense that they'd have to have a really long penis so that they can go and inseminate females without moving. But again, this is the human equivalent of having a barnacle penis. It is proportional. I measured it. What do you think? Cool. So yeah,
Do you know what the sex life of combat wombats is like?
No. Other honorable mentions. Smallest penis to body ratio, a gorilla. You guys have probably heard about this one before, and you can run that poll if you'd like. How small is a gorilla's penis? Yeah, the reason they think that they have such small penis, I explained the reason for a long barnacle penis, but for gorillas, they don't have much competition because of their social hierarchy. They don't have to worry about being crazy endowed because they get the females anyway, so who cares? A lot of people saying C. How tall are gorillas? Space, you want to look that up? Most people saying C. Is it 0.25 inches? Is it 0.5 inches? Is it 1.25 inches? Or is it 3 inches long? I'm gorilla sized, massive, easy, Rizlord. Guys. Gorillas are 5'5" on all fours. Oh my god, that's on all fours. I'm 5'2". Holy cow. Alright. Don't copia me. We literally just did this. We just did this.
Y'all are saying hung like a barnacle, I'm saying hung like a gorilla.
Says 5'2". She's wearing platforms. You don't know what I'm wearing? You literally can't see my feet. He's making that up. Paid measuring tape. Alright. The correct answer is about 1.25 inches. Erect. Yeah, so there's your gorilla. Iron the shirt? No, don't tell your teacher to iron her clothes. I will not. While there's a bunch of people here, by the way, quick shout out, guys, Tuesday, please come back, because we're doing a Valentine's Day fundraiser for Alveus. All these plushies, I made all these, like I sewed all these, and they're of all of our ambassadors, and you can win one, and you can get, I'm signing a bunch of postcards, and all you have to do to get a postcard and an entry to win one of the plushies is donate $25. So we're starting at super low, but we are mailing out signed postcards. Also, doubloons, special 3D printed doubloons that Space is making, and an entry to win one of these plushies if you donate $25 on Tuesday. So only LMFAO. That's the best we can do, folks. We are doing a little experiment, but you know, if you can't donate, it would still be great if you came. Worldwide. Worldwide. That's right. So yeah, if you want to come on Tuesday, same time. 2 days, 10 a.m. Do the plushies come with an anatomically correct penis or vagina? No. Lonely, thank you for the sub. All right. Crown Die, thank you for the 8 months. Yay, fundraiser. Crown Die, please come back for the fundraiser. Okay. So yeah, I will see you guys Tuesday at 10 a.m. for the Alveus Valentine's Day event. We're doing Valentine's Day themed enrichment, and it's Stompy's birthday. So if you don't come to say happy birthday to Stompy, if nothing else, you're pretty messed up. Next up, weaponized penises. Okay, so a lot of people had questions about this section. We're just going to watch a video to explain it. But this is a video about flatworms and what has been coined penis fencing.
This is a flatworm. Flatworms, like nudibranchs, are also both male and female and blind, finding their way by smell. But
They're
that
pretty.
is where the similarity ends. This one, called the Persian carpet flatworm because of the elaborate patterning, is a voracious predator.
Chat, think back to the snail thing. They're hermaphrodites. So what do they want?
And when it comes to mating, it's also somewhat aggressive.
To be a man.
It has sensed the presence of another flatworm. A potential partner.
To stabby, stabby, fucky, fucky.
To start with, they seem wary of one another. And with good reason. Each of them is trying to avoid the labor of looking after the fertilized eggs. It's better not to become pregnant. Rearing up, each reveals its two-pronged penis.
Whoa!
And now they fence. Each tries to stab and inseminate the other without being stabbed first. A strike anywhere on the body will fertilize.
This is like a high school locker room, man. They're stabbing. How do they record this? Yeah, I don't know. He's done it.
A successful strike, and sperm is injected into the rival.
There's your female,
The duel
guys,
is over.
aka
The
loser.
impregnated flatworm is left with a scar and the labour of laying the eggs. Its only solace, its young will carry the genes of a master swordsman.
There you go. Takes Get Fucked to a whole nother level. It is very similar to the snail sex that we talked about with the darts, because hermaphrodites want to be male, so you got to do what you got to do. That's what I have for weaponized penises. Thought it would be easier to show you that video, and it was well made. So that's weaponized penises. This one got a lot of attention on Twitter. Mouth penis. What the heck does that mean? We got another hermaphrodite situation, guys. This is a sea slug, Scyphopteron machisig. So sea slugs have both male and female genitalia, right? And they have two penises. They're not penises. They have one penis, and they have one penile stylet. It is a hypodermic penis because it injects their mate with something that encourages them to play the female role. However, this one is a little bit special, a little bit interesting, because instead of stabbing, like we just saw them stabbing anywhere on the body with that penis fencing, but for this one, thank you for the 20 months, for this one, they aim to stab directly in the forehead. Probably because that is where their central nervous system is, and so it is the fastest, most effective way to get that secretion into the other sea slug. So what they do is wrestle a little bit, inseminate each other with the penises at the same time. That's that middle picture. And then once they've inseminated each other, then they stab each other in the head. And whoever wins, wins. And here's what it looks like.
It's beautiful,
Thanks
isn't
for
it?
12 months.
And delicate
Look,
for
they're really
something
cute.
called a sea slug. That's what
the
this
penis.
tiny marine animal
The,
is called.
like,
What's unusual about it
clear-looking thing.
is that it has a mating behavior so extreme that it
Resting
seems
for
to
8
be a
months.
scientific first. Scyphopteron, that's the genus, is hermaphroditic. That means each slug has working male and female reproductive organs. But that's not strange for a sea slug. It's also common for these animals to inject fluid full of hormones into some other part of the partner's body during mating. But this creature stabs the other
Look,
slug
there it
in the
is.
forehead with a needle-like stylet.
Hypodermic stylet.
Sea slugs don't really have
Hypodermic
foreheads,
beam.
but that's the word scientists use. And it is in the neighborhood of the central nervous system. So scientists think that this may be an attempt to inject hormones right into the nervous system to force the other slug to lay as many eggs as possible. With sea slugs, the war between the sexes is kind of confusing since each is both. But their behavior is a clear reminder that throughout nature, when sexual reproduction is involved, there's a distinct male and female biological agenda, even if they're in the same body.
That's what that looks like. Oh, it's called mouth penis, or I called it mouth penis because it comes out of their mouth. Duh. Both of them. So yeah, that's sea slugs. Then we have multiple penises. Okay, lots of animals have multiple penises or hemipenises. Bort, thank you for the 3 months. So, hemipenises, 2 penises, patchy. Snakes, 2 penises. One of the reasons that they think they have 2 penises is because a lot of snakes will mate in a breeding ball. This picture here of gardener snakes. They have the largest recorded breeding ball was 7,500 individuals. So the theory for why the snakes have 2 penises is because 2's better odds than 1. That's all I could find is when they're in a breeding ball, if they can come from either side, Literally, they have better chances. That's all I could find for you, okay? Other things. Okay, platypuses are just about the weirdest animals on the planet. Platypuses and echidnas both. Bizarre animals. They were recently, kind of recently separated from mammals, and they're classified as monotremes. They lay eggs. Platypuses are venomous. Why? No freaking idea. There's so few animals that are venomous, but platypuses, they have venomous spurs. And there's a guy that got spurred by a platypus. He still has pain 4 years later. It's just like such a weird animal. And their penises are also really weird. Echidnas, though, have probably the record for the weirdest penis. I didn't want to show you because it's a lot. You're welcome to look it up, but I didn't want to put one on stream. So I'm going to draw it for you. I've said this on stream before, but guess how many heads an echidna penis has? What do you think? A lot of you already know. 4. Yeah. So it looks like this. That's all it looks like. You can look it up. Look up echidna penis. It has 4 heads. Why? It's not a hand. It's a penis. Why does it have 4 heads? 4 is better than 3. 3 is better than 2. 2 is better than 1. They are all functioning heads. So, one theory is that when they're mating with a female, they can inseminate them twice out of 2 heads. Another one is because they're pretty promiscuous and they mostly have group sex, echidna orgies. They can mate with one female, immediately go to the next female and mate with the other 2 heads, and it eliminates the problem of a refractory period. Why not 5? That's not a question for me. No reboot time. Exactly. Yeah. So, this is an echidna penis. Then we have a platypus. Guess how many heads a platypus penis has? 7, 6, 1, 8, 10, 3. Might be disappointing to some of you. It's only 2, but it's shaped weird. Shaped like that. Why? Let's go back to our duck example. Female platypuses have 2 vaginas, of course. Of course they do. One of them is fake, of course. But not fake. One of them is false. It's a false vagina. It goes to a false uterus. And so male platypuses have evolved and adapted to have one prominent head that goes to the real one and one less prominent head that goes to the fake one. Who knows what's going to happen down the line? It's another arms race. But it looks... Oh, also, of course, they're freaking barbed. Naturally. So yeah. That's platypus penis. Any questions? Oh! Hi, Ryan. How you doing? Okay, so that's what we're looking at for multiple penises. Chat, it gets crazier from here. We're going to talk about... here we go. We're going to talk about detachable penises. A lot of people were like, what does this mean? There are disposable penises and there are detachable penises. There are penises that can be disposed of and then they grow a new one and then they reuse it. We're going to talk just about detachable penises today. Are you ready? Guess what animal has a detachable penis? I'll give you a hint. We've talked about them today. Me. Humans, right. Clownfish, lizard, octopus. Well done. Octopuses, some cephalopods have detachable penises. I need one more. Okay. This is an octopus. Where do you think his penis is? Oh, I thought retractable. Ooh, Lots of animals have retractable penises. You can see retractable penises on the pasture cam if you'd like. His head everywhere. A lot of people saying his head, third right arm, underneath him, his mouth, his epidermis, just all of his skin. One of the arms. One of the arms is the octopus's penis. Only one. Is it always the same one? I don't know the answer to that. I would assume so. I don't actually know which one I mean, this isn't a correct diagram. It's one of the arms, okay? And in the tip of the arm, there's a sperm storage organ. So, there's a packet, sperm packet. Can you read that? Not really. Okay, there's a sperm packet at the tip of this tentacle. Okay, what else do we know about octopus sex, guys? What does a female octopus like to do to a male octopus after they have sex? It starts with a C and ends with an annibalize. They eat them. Yes, they cannibalize. Sexual cannibalism. I'll go just like quick overview. Octopuses, they're solitary. Thank you, Space. They're solitary mostly, so they float around in the ocean on their own. When they run into a mate, they're gonna eat it because they don't run into much other prey, and so it's got to be done. Okay, so it's just got to be done. It just makes sense. Female octopuses will strangle male octopuses and eat them. Girl boss shit. So, a couple methods that male octopuses, Bort, thank you for the 5 subs, that male octopuses will use to inseminate a female octopus. Here's a female octopus. Draw it in blue. Guys, where do you think her vagina is? Ew. I'm gonna go over it. Everywhere. The mouth. Between her eyes, tentacles, head, in the arm. In her toes. I don't know that she has toes. In her penis, all right? I'm getting a little confused here, that's okay. We'll slow it down. I didn't see anybody get it, but I wasn't looking at chat the whole time. It's about right here. Scientists call it the nostril. Don't look at, this is not like anatomically correct, okay? I know her face is right here. That's not where this doesn't what an octopus looks like, okay? Scientists call it the nostril, but technically it's not the, no nose, trussy, yes, whatever you want to call it. Nose, pussy, sure. It's right here. So, for male octopuses, say goodbye to Mr. Male Octopus. I need to redraw him. Goodbye. Ah! Okay, so, one method that male octopuses have for inseminating the female to avoid cannibalism is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, is the reach method. Okay? The octopuses in nature that have really long tentacles have the luxury of reaching. Reach will reach around. Right? And all that he needs to do is get his tentacle inside of her nostril to inseminate her. He delivers the sperm packet into this cavity, right? But if the female, I'm an animator. Uh-oh. She sees him, and then she wants to eat him. Oh no! Cut it off! cut off the tentacle. He releases it. It detaches from him. And then he leaves. He will die, but he's not dead now. He leaves it there with her. And it will inseminate her because it's in the cavity. It stays there. Scientists that have pulled up female octopuses have mistaken penises in the cavity for parasitic worms. Males, this wasn't drawn very well. Males are much smaller than females typically. Another crazy thing about female octopuses, they can collect penises. These are penises from other octopuses. So they can have several stored in that cavity. Dick collector. Kind of hot, it's kind of weird. Yeah. So she can have several to choose from that can inseminate her. There are other octopuses, by the way, smaller ones, or other cephalopods, that get so scared, they're all the way over here, that, I've never drawn one of those, but actually is kind of sick. That get so scared, they don't even try the reach method. They just send it off, and it goes on a little journey and it swims to get to her. Okay? Understand? That's detachable penises. After the female is inseminated, she goes off on this long journey to raise eggs. She will stop eating after she eats the male octopus if she is that lucky. And that'll be her last meal before she raises the eggs, and then she will die once the eggs hatch out, and the males will also die. They go into a phase, I think it's called senescence, where it's almost like torpor or like hibernation, but it's not hibernation because that's mammals. But you know, they just yeah, kind of go dormant and then they die. This porn sucks. Maya, thank you for the sub. Anybody have any questions about detachable penises? Could you zoom out, Space? Thank you. Do they still inseminate? Yes. Yeah. The sperm packet's in that tentacle. So long as it gets into that cavity, insemination occurs. Is mine detachable? No. Do not. So male octopus has like 9 cocks? No. First of all, they have 8 tentacles. Second of all, only one of them is the penis. Are you sure? Yep. A lot of people are asking if they regrow. I think the answer is no, because supposedly they die after reproducing, or after copulating, so I don't think that they would regrow, but I could be wrong on that. So you're saying when I ate octopus, I ate its cock? Excellent question. Yeah, probably. Because the tentacles all look identical. It's just one of them has a sperm packet in it. I never really thought about that. That's actually a really interesting point.
I would open stream today to hear about detachable cocks, but here we are.
But maybe they're female. You know, I don't know. Thank you for the sub. So that's detachable penises. We had a lot of questions about the next one, and oh my gosh, do I have a lot to talk to you guys about. Acoustic penises. Okay, what the frick does that mean? It means they can play their penis like a motherfucking fiddle, okay? Water boatmans. This is an aquatic insect. They are freaking tiny, right? They're like a couple millimeters long, like 3 millimeters long. They're the size of a flea, okay? And it is able to rub its an appendage on its abdomen against its penis, and it makes a sound that attracts mates. Not just any sound, you guys. This is the loudest animal on the planet. If you account for its size, okay? If you, like, proportionally, It makes, by miles and miles and miles, the loudest sound of any animal on planet for its size. It is the size of a flea, and when it rubs its penis against its abdomen appendage, it makes a sound that is up to 99 decibels. The loudest sound ever recorded on Earth was from a sperm whale at 236 decibels. Okay? Do you guys know how loud a sonic boom is? NASA recorded how loud a sonic boom is? Guess. Sperm whale, 236 decibels. Aquatic boatman, tiny insect, 99 decibels. Sonic boom, about 110. Okay? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, why would they need to make a noise that loud? We don't know. Scientists were so confused when they heard this, because you can hear it from outside the water, which in itself is absurd, right? That you can hear it from like the surface, and so they thought it was some crazy large insect, and they found that it was a water boatman, this tiny little one. The theory that they have, they do bring air bubbles down with them underwater, and those air bubbles may help as like a resonating loudspeaker for them to make that sound louder. A penile scream, exactly. But we don't know why it needs to be that loud. I don't know why it needs to be that loud, but it is absurdly loud. I tried to do the math to see how loud a human would have to be at our size, proportionally, but decibels are logarithmically scale up. So I wasn't going to do all that, sorry. But it's freaking loud, okay? Did I miss anything? Adjusted for size portions, this makes the water boatman the loudest animal on Earth. And they use it as communication between species, but it's also used to attract potential mates. That is a picture of a water boatman. This is what it sounds like. I'm kidding. That's not what it sounds like. That's not what it sounds like. I'm sorry. This is what it sounds like. This is what it sounds like. It was a movie soundtrack. It sounds like this. That was a cargo ship. Sorry. But like super crazy, weird loud. Like I don't know why they need to be this loud. It's quiet. Okay, yeah, it's because you're watching a video, chatter. But yeah, water boatman's loudest insect. Prolonged exposure, by the way. Water boatman can produce a sound that's 99 decibels, right? That's underwater, so like you're not gonna be damaged like outside of water. If you're in water with a sperm whale and it fucking 236 decibels your ear off, you probably die. Like, it's very exposed. Prolonged exposure to anything 200 decibels and above will cause your organs to rupture. JMP, thank you for the 17. So if I had two water boatmen sitting on this table and you added them together, then I'd blow up. No, that's not how it works. But like, it's really loud. Like they're really freaking up there. Not a meme. Why are they called sperm whales? I don't know the answer to that. But anyway, that's why I don't like the ocean. These are freshwater. Oh, you're talking about whales. Do females have acoustic vaginas? That I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just males. But yeah, so acoustic penises. Water boatmans play their penis on their stomach, and it makes the loudest animal sound on the planet for some reason. Serendipity, thank you for the 3 months. Yeah, so there's that. Kind of crazy. All right, exploding penises, everybody. Here we go. I told you guys that, thank you for the sub. A lot of male animals die virgins, right? A lot of them. Anybody, relatable for anybody? Virgin losers, birds and the bees. Okay, so for bees, the purpose of a male, like a male drone bee, is to mate with the queen bee. But there's one queen bee and so many male bees. So his chance at mating is extremely low, and he only has one shot, literally. Okay? One shot. It's weird that that guy said whore when we're talking about having sex once. And we're also talking about bees. Okay, so they attempt to mate with the female mid-flight. If and when a bee is able to mate with the female, he explodes. His testicle explodes, his penis is severed off of his body. Why? Why would he want that? Because he only has one chance, and if he's able to mate with the female, he wants to plug said female up. Blackie, thank you for the sub. If he is able to inseminate the female, he will explode so that half of his body stays in that female, and no other males are able to inseminate her. Also, apparently, there is an audible popping sound that the human ear can hear. Does he survive? No. Dude, he exploded. He's dead. But he inseminated the queen bee, which is huge. Thank you for the sub. Rather die than be cucked. Respect. Please. Oh, I missed that one. Literal cock blocking. Yes. This is a picture up here of a bee that has exploded. I don't know how the queen gets rid of the body. How do they just explode? Probably similar to how we talked about lizards losing their tail. Plug and socket kind of method. Some kind of hormone triggers it. You know? I want that kind of love. It is a little bit inspiring. Yeah. So there you go. Exploding penises. Oh, you missed the animation. He died. All right, that is what I have for penises today, everybody. Now we're going into vaginas. Regrettably, there is less information on vaginas, as you can see by my limited subtopics, and I will explain that in a little bit. But it's still pretty interesting. I mentioned this before. We have false vaginas, or not false vaginas. These are pseudopenises, which is a clitoris that looks like a penis. We're going to go over why that is a thing. Little man rooms, we'll talk about that in a second. If you don't want to see a hyena clitoris, look away, but I'm going to show you right now. This is a drawing of a hyena clitoris. What the fuck, right? Looks like a penis. Crazier than that, the hyena is the only animal that pees, copulates, and births out of its clitoris. And it looks like a penis. And so this is a baby in a hyena, and she will literally birth all the way through that clitoris. Birthing is very dangerous for hyenas. That must hurt so bad. Yeah, it must. Yeah. But 3 in 1 hole. Yeah. But the clit is a myth. Oh, brother. So painful. Yeah. So this is a hyena. This is a hyena clitoris, right? So pseudopenis. This is what it actually looks like. This is a female hyena. So it's pretty much impossible to tell the difference between the two of them just by looking at them in the wild. And a lot of people will then ask, why? Why would they have a pseudopenis, right? You guys, if you guys want to say any ideas that you have, great. But there are lots of theories for this. Number one, hyena females.
Practice for Tuesday.
Right, thank you. Hyena females dominant hyena females have the same testosterone levels as males. So it may just be a hormonal thing, in that their testosterone levels reflect the genitalia that they have. So that's number one. Yeah, it helps them with dominance. is one of those examples, or one of those theories. Another one, and what I think is makes more sense, DJ, thank you for the sub. Another one that I think makes more sense is that pseudopenises allow female animals with those pseudopenises to control when copulation happens. Other animals that have pseudopenises, there's a hyena. Elephants have a pseudopenis. So they have a clitoris that is as long as the male penis is. Your black-handed spider monkeys have a pseudopenis. It looks like a penis, but it's a clitoris, right? Males are unable to inseminate a female unless she has retracted her pseudopenis. You can't stick a penis in a penis, you know? But, well, you know. But females with pseudopenises, they will retract it, and then males can inseminate her then. So she has to accept the copulation. And I think that that's a reason, so that the female has more control over who she wants to mate with. It is physically impossible for a male elephant to rape a female elephant. Make sense? They can choose to retract it. Yes, sir? Yep. When I was working at a zoo in college, we had a black-handed spider monkey who, his name was Maya. I think you guys probably remember her. She's a very old monkey. But for the longest time, I thought she was male because she had what I believed was a penis. It was like this long. And when they told me Maya was male, I was like, no, she's not. Like, what do you mean? This is not true. And that's how I learned what a pseudopenis was. But it really does look like a penis. It's kind of crazy. I think it does correlate to animals with matriarchal structures. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. So that's what we have for false penises. Little man rooms. All right. Time to do a little more drawing, folks. Are you ready? Little man rooms, otherwise known as the Adrosium. Does anybody know what animal I'm about to talk about? We have not talked about it yet. No idea. Pikachu, kangaroo, anteater, kangaroo, anglerfish. Anglerfish is a great guess. That's a great guess because the females are so much larger than the males, and that's one of the reasons that this works. But it's actually more extreme than that. In this case, if it gives you any hint, proportionally, for this animal, I, at my height, would need a man that was a little less than 2 inches tall for this to work. We're talking about the green spoonworm, people, okay? This is green spoonworm larva, okay? That guy. The larva will free float in the ocean for up to 3 weeks, sexless. And I don't mean not having sex, I mean it does not have a biological sex yet, okay? It'll float for about 3 weeks. If it does not fucky in 3 weeks, then it'll settle down on the sea floor here, okay? And it will become female. The females, if this is the size of the male, the females kind of look like this. This is what the females look like. Much bigger, okay? The actual size is 10 centimeters versus 3 millimeters, if you're curious. Okay, so this is the female green spoonworm, and this is her proboscis, her mouth. All right, so the male, not males. We're going to have another larva, another green spoonworm larva, travel. This is a new one, right? He's just traveling through the ocean, waiting to see if he's going to be female, waiting to see if they're going to be female or if they're going to find love. Finds love. Finds a female, assumes the role of male because there's a female, stays this size. For reproduction to happen, the male will allow himself to be sucked in to the female's proboscis. Where he is then stored in an organ called the androcium. No joke, sucky sucky. Yeah. Once he is in the androcium, colloquially called the little man room, he will spend the rest of his life constantly inseminating the female. So he's just constantly inseminating. Wee. And then they live together like that forever. Does he need to eat or something? No. Nope. Can she have multiple males? I don't think so. I don't know, though, to be honest. The dream, is it? No eat, only coom. Doesn't have to pay any rent. Kinda sick.
Wow. I love learning.
Can you go for a smoke? Yay! Thanks. Can you go for a smoke break? No. He's busy. He got one job. So is he eating or not? No, I mean, he's not digested. But he has gone into the female's mouth and is now inside of her. I don't know what their lifespan is. On the clock. So is he still alive? Yes. He stays alive in there. Does he have Ethernet? No. How the fuck do we know this? Oh my god. Not this one in particular, but by the way, I've looked into like how do we know these things about some research. When I was reading about fruit fly research, I found that one of the ways that they learned about fruit fly research was they had fruit flies in a lab and they would wait for them to copulate, and while they were mid-copulation, they flash froze them with nitrogen and then did x-rays. I was like, oh my god, that's really mean. But yeah, so they have fruit flies that are like frozen in copulation so that they can study them. That's how we know about fruit fly sex. Anyway. Oh, this is a female spoonworm. What do you think of my drawing? Very good, huh? That's the female spoonworm. And that is a male spoonworm. What do you think of my drawing? Pretty good, right? Pretty good. Pretty good. That's what they look like. And that's the size of the male. Very little. Shapes! Data not found. Not a lot of data on, or not a lot of research on vaginas. Why? My first reaction was to be offended. And my second reaction was, you know what? It is much easier to study something external than it is internal. So I'll give them that. What I will say about vagina shapes is that if you know the shape of the penis, it is pretty damn easy to guess the shape of a vagina. They're pretty lock and key. You know? So, couldn't find much on vagina shapes. Sorry about that. Anyway. Multiple vaginas. You guys know how many vaginas a kangaroo has? Ow. Multiple, 69, 4, 1, 7, 6, 9, 4, 2, 100, 3. 3 vaginas. We have a couple of vagina examples here. Don't worry about the one on the left. The one on the left is monotremes, which is like echidnas and platypuses that make absolutely no sense. Nobody understands them. Don't worry about that one. The middle one, kangaroo vagina. 3 vaginas. And the one on the right is human. So, yeah. Why? Why 3? Because they have 2 uteruses. So they need 1 birth canal and 2 to take the semen up. Why do they have 2 uteruses? Pfft, didn't get that far. But they have 2, so they need 2 vaginas for semen transfer or for sperm transfer. The vagina in the middle, the straight one, is for birthing. And the most important reason that they can think of as to why kangaroos would have 3 vaginas is because they can be perpetually pregnant. They can always be pregnant. They could be raising 3 babies at once despite only being able to have 1 baby at a time, right? They can be raising 1 baby outside the womb, right? Like a joey that's on the ground, like a baby kangaroo. They could have 1 in their pouch. By the way, all marsupials have 3 vaginas. Anything with a pouch has got 3 vaginas. They can have 1 in the pouch, and they can have 1 embryo in reserve in the other uterus, waiting. Also, note, very skinny, the middle birthing canal for marsupials, but that's fine because baby kangaroos are like this big, jelly bean sized. Baby opossums, grain of rice-ish. Tiny, tiny, tiny. They're born very, PPL, just tiny little guys. And they're born into the pouch. And then they latch onto a nipple inside the pouch, and they stay there until they're big enough to exit the pouch. That's how marsupials work. But yeah, they have 3 vaginas. There are lots of animals. If an animal has 2 penises, probably has 2 vaginas. Probably 2 uteruses. So what we got for platypuses, we talked about that before. But yeah. So yeah, kangaroos have multiple vaginas. Kind of interesting. Let's talk about this. This section again could have been so much longer. If we're talking about picking up the ladies, right? There's so many courtship rituals, mating rituals, things like that. I chose the ones that I thought were the coolest, I guess, or the most interesting. We'll start with like the basic. Obviously, peacock's the most famous example of a mating ritual, courtship ritual, right? It's very dramatic. But there's lots of other examples of colorful courtship. I have a couple pictures here. This is a magnificent frigate bird up here. They have this inflatable red pouch to attract females. This is a pretty famous bird of paradise video. I think you guys have seen it, so I didn't even put the video in because everyone's seen this video. Just bird looks insane. Blue-footed boobies, they do a mating dance, but there are lots of other mating dances. One of them is the peacock jumping spider. This video, warning, has a sad ending.
This is the Australian peacock jumping spider, a miracle mover who can't afford to put a foot wrong.
Tiny. Little dog.
He's only the size of a grain of rice. Yes, he's that small. Which in a place like this means almost anything could be dangerous.
And the female that he wants to mate with wants to eat him.
But in fact, the biggest threat of all is the female he's after.
So cute.
The silken road to finding her is littered with the remains of unsuccessful suitors.
Tragic.
A stark warning that if he doesn't get this right, it could be his last day on the planet.
Focused. She's trying to eat him.
She ambushes him from behind. Now, what can he do to win her over?
Here he goes.
Dance. Dance for his very life. He unfurls his striking fan and begins his routine.
It's actually so fucked up. He's just trying his best. He has to dance, but then also run from her at the same
Its
time.
elaborate shape and vibrant colors resemble a tiny peacock's tail.
To run away.
But even his party outfit and his best moves aren't impressing her. Time to step it up a level. As is so often the case in the mating game, it's not the males, but the females who call the shots.
sexual cannibalism.
The more compelling the dance, the more likely she is to accept his advances.
What a bitch, honestly. I agree.
This mating ritual can go on for up to 50 minutes. But at last,
Sorry,
his performance is rewarded, and they mate. He's done his
Yay.
bit and satisfied her needs. But now, her need is over. So, she kills him anyway. After all, his body will be the perfect nourishment for their eggs.
Oh. I warned you guys that it had a sad ending, okay? I'm sorry. There's a lot of sexual cannibalism in nature, guys. I was gonna say, I forgot to say this in the insect portion, or the insects portion. There are stick insects that will mate for 10 weeks at a time. Side note. It's kind of crazy. Okay, we have another example of colorful courtship. This is a Victoria's rifle bird. This is what they do to attract mates. I just thought it was funny. Here he is. Oh, wait. Here he goes. Wow. Crazy Gavin, thank you for the sub. This is what they want. I don't know. Women are confusing. You never really know what they want. And then one more example that we have is, ooh, this one's interesting. This one's a little different. I'll just let it explain it. It's very it's some 5-head courtship. Cuttlefish.
Giant Australian cuttlefish, up to 3 feet long, are gathering to breed. The marble-colored females draw in their tentacles to show that they're impressed by a male. The big guys with bold striped courtship patterns dominate this crowd.
You know, they only live a few years.
They guard
Isn't that crazy?
females underneath their bodies.
This is not going to ruin cuttlefish for you.
A small male has a tough time even getting a look, as bigger males use brute force to keep him away.
They don't cuddle, it's C-U-T-T-L-E.
But this opportunist is about to pull out his party trick. He draws in his tentacles to look like a female. But that's not all. He even changes his pattern to complete the con. Using this devious drag act, he slips underneath the male. As far as the big guy is concerned, he's now protecting another female. But beneath him, our cross-dresser is mating with the female. And he's ensured that at least some of the next generation belong to him.
Mr. Steal Your Girl. That is right. Very smart. Very smart guys. So anyway, those are the colorful courtship examples that I have for you. There are so many more examples of mating rituals and courtship. Just in birds, like, it's ridiculous. Scorpions dance for courtship. They like grab pinchers and run around. There's so much more to that. Do you guys know what anointing is? Anybody? And I don't mean like freaking, I don't mean like, not like a knight. Not royalty. No, okay, great. So, anointing is yucky. This is a picture of a hedgehog anointing. And what it is taking anything that has a really strong smell and lathering it all over your body. So hedgehogs in the wild, that fluid was saliva, and so they will regularly reach back and just cover themselves in saliva. Did I miss any? I haven't looked at my notes at all. I'm crazy. I think I actually have gotten all of them. I'm crazy. Wow. Sorry, okay. So they take lots of different smells that are particularly bad, chew it. So take a cigarette, for example. That's what I had for hedgehogs, because hedgehogs that are wild in the UK will do this with cigarette butts. They will chew on cigarette butts and make their saliva really like tobacco-y, and then they'll spit saliva all over themselves and like rub it around. It's anything that's like really smelly. So if they find like dog feces or another feces, they will take it and like put it all over them. I do that too. That's disgusting. They will do that for, there's a few theories for why animals anoint themselves. Dogs will anoint themselves too. You have a dog and like, you know, you let them outside and there's shit on the ground and they just frickin' roll in it. They love it, right? Dogs will anoint too. It's actually pretty common. But hedgehogs are like probably the gnarliest examples of it because they will do it with the grossest stuff. Mine rolled in rotten fish, right? Yeah. So a couple theories. Number one, courtship. Females like it, are interested when it's new exotic smells, like perfume, like cologne, except just gross. Camouflage is another one. So if there's a smell that is in their environment, if they can make themselves smell like that, it might help to protect them against predators that have a really good sense of smell. Irritation factor, things like hedgehogs and porcupines, if they're able to anoint themselves with really gross substances, it might make it more irritating for animals that get stabbed by their I can't remember the word for this right now. Spines? By their quills. Jeez, thank you. No, nobody said that. I just said thank you to myself. An irritation factor by their barbs, their quills, thank you. And then another one is scent marking. So that's why your dogs are going to do it, stuff like that. It's just to mark themselves with scents because they're really scent driven. They experience a lot of the world with by scent. Another crazy anointing example. Apparently porcupines for mating will anoint one another with urine, with each other's urine. They'll pee on each other. And it's anointing. And so, yeah, that's what anointing is. Okay. Lastly, for getting a girl to like you. Now we're coming up on Valentine's Day. This is actually a good one. Nuptial gifts. These are gifts that are given to the mate, the female mate usually, to win them over. Hi, cutie. So examples of nuptial gifts: rocks. Penguin. Look at that penguin. He's taking a rock. Food and sustenance. We have a spider up here. I forget what the spider is called. I forget the name of it. But he will wrap prey, like wrap it up like a little present in silk, and then gift it to the female. He'll present it to the female, and she will eat him anyway. But it's really nice that he does that, and it's the only way that he has the opportunity to mate. So he's kind of doomed. Anyway, rocks. Penguins love gifting each other rocks because they have pebble nests because it's really good for drainage and it keeps their nest really clean. So this is a picture of a penguin gifting a rock to his mate who will sit on a bunch of them. And, whoever can get their mates the biggest, nicest pebble nest does the best when it comes to mating. Other nuptial gifts. Plants. Kind of like the food sustenance thing. Regurgitations. They'll go eat and then they'll regurgitate for their mate to give them food that way. Body parts. With cannibalism, sexual cannibalism. A lot of insects and stuff like that will gift body parts to the female where they can still survive, but they will gift them parts to eat. Secretions, saliva, predator defense secretions, hormone-affecting secretions, things like that. So, gifts. Valentine's Day is coming up in a couple days. 1, you should be here in the morning because we have a really fun fundraiser and it's going to be cool. And 2, you should get someone a gift. Ladies like gifts. Guys, that is the end of my presentation. What do you think? What do you think? Valentine's Day fundraiser. Valentine's Day event. The Alveus Valentine's Day event is in a couple days on Tuesday at 10 a.m. Same time that we started this stream on Valentine's Day. You can get a plushie. You can get a postcard. You can watch the animals open Valentine's Day themed gifts. Look, Winnie's going to get her grain out of this bowl where we have boxes for the foxes. We have this for the crows, a little chocolate box. We have even, oh, I'm going to make Stompy a birthday cake out of these boxes. I have heart-shaped stamps. So even our insects can have a heart-shaped produce. You see? Wolf, thank you for the 5. So the insects will get heart-shaped produce. I'm making the pasture enrichment. I'm making them like heart-shaped treats for the donkeys, for Winnie. It's going to be a lot of fun. If you guys want to see the animals get Valentine's Day presents, come back Valentine's Day, and we will do that. And what else? Those animals are having... Cute, that's actually true. Yeah, their Valentine's Day is going to be sick. And then also... where, yeah, these plushies will get auctioned off, and you can get a signed postcard. Can you hand me it should be by the printer, postcards. Are they, like, in a package that, hold on, guys. I'm going to show you what the postcard looks like. We're going to do a little leakage right now. Oh, they're here. Dion made postcards, the same thing that we did for the art auction last year. Look at how cute. If you guys want to sign, look, it has everybody on it. Has Siren and Georgie and the Ras and Noodle, Toaster Strudel, Winnie, the Foxes, the Crow Enrichment, Patchy. How much? Okay, so for the Valentine's Day event fundraiser, if you donate $25 or more, I'm going to sign each of these up here. So I'll sign them. If you donate $25, you'll get one of these signed, and then do you have a, and you'll also get a doubloon. Space has been 3D printing Alveus doubloons. So you'll get one of these inside of an envelope with your signed postcard if you donate $25. If you donate $50, then you'll get 2 doubloons. If you donate $75, you'll get 3 doubloons. In different colors. They're all different colors that look like sweetheart candies. You know? There's not a tweet for the event yet. That goes up today. So, $25, you get one of those. And then $25, you get an entry to get a plushie that I have made of all of the ambassadors. They took me forever. And you can get one. Look, it's Siren and Mia. Look, I even made the isopods. You get an isopod. Top 5 donators are going to get their pick of the plushies. Look, I made jalapeno. Not only US, worldwide. I also made Stompy, but you don't need to worry about that. I made these off stream. Are these handmade? Yep, hand sewed. I don't have a sewing machine. So that is on Tuesday. We can do a little Q&A. I'm worried I won't be able to answer many of your questions, but I can try. Do you guys have any questions about the stream? You probably have so many. But Yeah, LVS is a 501c3, so if you want to write it off, you can. Show you other plushies. Here, I made the crows. I made the rats. Look, it's Chips. Scorpion. Puppy. Crows. Largest size penis proportional to animal size is the barnacle. How do you want to do this, Space? I got a peach. I also made a roach. And Patchy. And Winnie. Look, here's a roach. It comes with a mite. And zebra eye spots. Patchy. One eye. Winnie. Big one. She has a little bit of pomegranate juice on her because she was in there when I did the cooking stream. Winnie's a big one. I also have, oh my god, I have so many. I have all the chickens. Georgie, this one. Oh, one more chicken. Ugh. Here's Oliver. Here's Henrique. Look, she's waving at you. Hi. This is Georgie. George. Rubber ducky. Isopod. Henrietta. And Nugget. So many chickens. Well, we have a lot of chickens. Oh, there you go. All right. If you guys have questions about this presentation, you do hashtag ask and then throw your question in there. I'm warning you, I don't know that I'm going to be able to answer that many of them because I did a ton of research, but I am not an evolutionary biologist. I have an agriculture degree. I did all this learning for this presentation, so I'm not an expert by any means. But I will try. Okay. Zeiteria, what animals mate for pleasure? Tons. Tons of animals mate for pleasure. The most prominent example is in primates. That's annoying. Hold on, let me get this off my screen. Okay, the most prominent example is in primates. Primates are extremely promiscuous, extremely freaky. Yeah, there are female, what is it? Is it just bonobos? I don't remember if it's bonobos or macaques, but where only females will orgasm with females. But they engage in sexual behavior as a social behavior. So it's all over the place and it's not just for reproduction. I don't have like a number for you. IP said, how common is it for females to eat the males after mating? I don't have a number, like a percentage, but my answer is way more common than you think. Because it's not just in invertebrates. It's very common in invertebrates. Sexual cannibalism, very common in invertebrates, but also among lots of other animals, right? So, yeah, it's pretty popular. Great question. Do male spiders after mating just give up to be eaten or they still run for their lives? Depends on the spider. A lot of them will run just to come back and try to reproduce again, and they pretty much just go until they die. Or they go until they get got, you know? So I don't know a ton about this anglerfish sex facts. What I do know is that female anglerfish are way larger than their male counterparts. Like their males are like parasitic compared to the females, and females will attract males by baiting them with a lure. Essentially, they have like a bioluminescent thing that hangs from their head. This is the fish from Finding Nemo that looks really scary. And so they'll bait the males over with like a lure, and then when the male comes over, they'll I guess reproduce. I don't know if they eat them or if they become a... No, you know what? They don't eat them. They become a parasite. They like fuse to the females. The males will fuse to the female, and I think inseminate her that way. That's an interesting one, but I didn't get too deep into it. Thank you for the sub. Can you mention funny facts that you read in the book and generally that aren't in the Prezi? I didn't read this in a book, but online, I read in National Geographic that alligators are constantly erect. They never don't have an erection, but their penises are usually tucked in. So that's why you don't see them just like constantly erect, but they're always erect. Kind of interesting. Yes, absolutely. Do any insects or animals reproduce without a partner? Yeah, self-fertilization is pretty common. Selfing is common. It happens in fish. It happens in insects. It happens in microbes. It's all over the place. I do not have another example of an androsium. Green spoonworm is all that I read about. All chickens have a cloaca. Yeah, chickens do not have penises. So it's one hole for everything for chickens. Tons. Most harmful mating ritual for both sides. I mean, it's got to be sexual cannibalism, right? I don't know that there's one that's equally harmful for both sides, but there's a lot where one of them doesn't survive. Yes, there is a lot of masturbation in the animal kingdom. Again, primates is going to be your biggest example there of masturbation, but we see masturbation everywhere. Dogs masturbate, monkeys masturbate, birds masturbate. It's everywhere. This $25 donation, that'll be back here Tuesday at 10 a.m. And the donation will go to Alveus. Is there a way to get a plushie? For sure. If you're one of the top 5 donators on Tuesday, yes, you will get to pick one of the plushies. The top donator will get to pick out of all of them, second, third, in that order, but it'll be top 5. Okay, a couple people have asked this question, and I'm scared that I'm going to answer it wrong. How do ducks erect if it's not by blood? My answer is I believe it is with seminal fluid. But I think it's a lot of it, but I don't know for sure, so I don't want to answer that. I can't answer that confidently. This is a very interesting question that could be a whole presentation itself. Are chickens similar to reptiles then? They do have a cloaca. They do have a nictitating membrane. They do have scales. There's a whole lot of depth to comparing birds to reptiles. But yeah, kinda. Talked about this a little bit at the beginning of the presentation. Homosexuality is extremely common in animals. I didn't mention, though, exclusive homosexuality has never been observed. There have been individual pairs who have been exclusively homosexual, but as a species, exclusive homosexuality has never been observed in the animal kingdom. A lot of bisexual behavior, though. This one, like, I don't know if you could call it pleasure, but there's lots of cross-species copulation. Usually, I think it would be attributed to confusion more than anything, or a lack of access to mates of the same species. Dolphins is a good example. Actually, dolphins are extremely promiscuous, and dolphins will have sex with other species. Yeah, and that may be for pleasure. Yeah, I'm not sure though. I'm not a marine biologist. Okay, I think that was all the questions in here. I mean, the ones that I could went through and answered some of them. Okay, and this one. Okay, I know very little about fish. Okay, I can tell you a few things about fish. We talked about the anglerfish, right? The males fuse to the female. I think it's all over the place. The males will fuse to the female and inseminate her that way. There are fish that lay eggs and sperm packets are deposited over those eggs underwater, like in the water, and are fertilized that way. There are fish that will deposit eggs into a male. Seahorses have a cavity where the eggs are deposited, and then he will inseminate inside of that cavity and fertilize the eggs in there. That's why people say male seahorses birth the babies. The eggs are put in there, he inseminates them inside, and then like pushes them out. So it looks like he's birthing them, but it's not like he like made those eggs, you know. He just inseminates them, carries them until they're ready to be birthed. But I think there's lots of different ways. Oh, there's also self-fertilization in fish, right? Your mangrove killfish will self-fertilize, so. And then lay fertilized eggs. Don't ask me. Is there a specific reason monotremes lay eggs? I don't want anyone to ask me anything about monotremes because I know nothing. The more I read about monotremes, the more confused I am. I have no idea why they're the way they are. Monotremes being echidnas, platypuses, like I don't know. They're so weird. I don't know. The guy that discovered platypuses thought that it was fake. Like he spent days trying to find seams. He thought that somebody had like taxidermied an animal together because he found a dead one. And he like didn't believe that it was a real animal. They make no sense. I grew up on a farm, so I've been around animals my whole life. I got my degree in agriculture, so then started working with exotics in college. And I'm now 24. Best degree to do research on stuff like this, zoology. For this specifically, it would be evolutionary biology. All the book that I read, it was evolutionary biology, and most of the articles came from evolutionary biologists. So, yeah, it would be that. But biology will work. Wildlife biology will work. Yeah, anything like that. All right. This is going to be the last one here. The coolest thing I learned while making this presentation. Thank you for the 13 months. I want to say, I think it might be the water boatman. The acoustic penis part. That was like the most shocking to me. I think it was pretty interesting. That's probably my favorite one. All right, guys. Some people ask questions. Some of them are repeats. Some of them I wish I could answer, and I don't think that I can. Good luck doing the research, guys. It is not an easy thing to research. It's not an easy thing to research and get reliable information. There's a lot of like Vice articles and like things. People love talking about it. But to find actual stuff written by scientists is hard. But I hope I answered a lot of your questions. I hope you guys learned a lot. If you like these plushie guys and you want to see more of them, or you want one for yourself, come back on Tuesday. Again, $25 gets you a signed postcard. I'm going to sign these postcards. You get a doubloon and an entry to win one of them. So come back Tuesday at 10 a.m. For the Valentine's Day stream. I really appreciate you guys being here. We're going to set up, you can get up the raid right now if you want. We're going to set up a raid into Alveus right now. Nobody's on the Alveus channel at the moment. I need to start I still have more plushies to make, and I need to get enrichment going for Valentine's Day, because we're going pretty hard on the Valentine's Day themed enrichment. So yeah, we'll see. I will see you guys. There's a small chance I might not have the bandwidth to do a stream on Monday, because I'm going to be like running around like crazy trying to get stuff ready for Tuesday. But I will let you know if I can't stream on Monday. I'm going to try my best to, and then I'm just going to be going crazy trying to get everything done. I'm going to prioritize the enrichment at this point over doing plushies. Plushies, I will try to do at night. I still have to make the foxes and toaster strudel and the chinchillas. So I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, Stompy will run the Alvea channel good. Go say hi to the pasture. Are they on the pasture right now? Yep. Go say hi to the pasture for me. The baby cow's in there.
Maya heal.
Because they could get a gold one. No, yeah, they'll get hearts too. Top 5 donators will get a signed postcard. Thank you for the sub. Thank you for the subs today. Thanks for watching. See you guys tomorrow, probably, for meal prep. No, you can't get 2 plushies. Goodbye. I gotta pee so bad. It's crazy.